This story is kinda different in the way that I witnessed an autistic young man get caught up in some crazy lady, I don't work here lady situation. Let me set the scene for you. I, working as door greeter, watching out for lost customers and folks with returns, working in lawn and garden section, I see this autistic young man. This young man is sorting and moving potted flowers around, putting them in a very specific order, matching colors, size of pots, and height of the flowers themselves. He's bothering no one and most folks are just noticing him doing a bang-up job. But this one old crone of a woman sees him working. She stands behind this young man, arms folded and tapping her foot. She clears her throat in that dreaded fashion we all know. Ahem, excuse me, you need to help me. The young man pays her no mind, continuing with his task. She doesn't like this. She clears her voice and replies louder. You are not listening to me. You're going to help me now. Before I can walk to her and ask her what she needs, she reaches out and grabs this young man by the right arm, just above his elbow. I guess the sudden action of this and the young man's condition caused him to spin around and jerk his arm away from this lady. And the sudden movement startled the old woman, causing her to step backwards and lose her balance, causing her to sit down on her butt. By the time I reached the young man to see if he was okay, his mother had shown up and was asking what had happened. Before I could say anything, the woman who had caused this was up and berating this young man, saying he attacked her and she will have him fired and arrested. Meanwhile, this young man was almost crying and his mother was shocked. I told the mom to take her son and calm him down, that he has done nothing wrong and just make sure he's okay. Crazy old woman didn't like that I took his side. She began to lie and tell me she was the victim and she didn't do anything, that the employee attacked her. I told her not so kindly. 1. She was a liar and I had witnessed the whole incident. 2. The young man you forcibly grabbed does not work here and you assaulted him. By now, a crowd has gathered, and the crazy woman has noticed that no one is giving her looks that they believe her side of the story. She just puts her head down and walks quickly out the store. When I turned to check on the young man and his mother, she was smiling at me and was thanking me for my help. She shops here regularly and the young man likes to arrange the flowers. It's calming to him. I express my regrets about the whole incident. The young man walks over to me and pats my shoulder once and goes back to the flowers. The mom informed me that was the equivalent of a high five from him. That was it. Then they were gone. I once owned a computer store with one of my best friends. As we started to grow, we found it was becoming more and more difficult to handle all the in-store repairs as well as out-of-store work that we had coming in. We decided we needed someone for the front counter. Unfortunately, I went on vacation when my partner had hired this girl. Not that this was a problem, as we knew what we needed, and I knew he could find someone. When I returned from vacation, I had some out-of-town work that needed to be done with a high-dollar client. This work took another 2 weeks, so I had not had the chance to meet the new employee. The first day back just happened to be the same day my partner started his vacation. I walk in. Hi, you must be... I don't care who you are. What can I help you with? I don't see you with a computer. What are you looking for? Excuse me? You should be. What do you need? I have a lot of things to do to open the store. Sorry, I don't think you understand who I am. Well, Greg is on vacation. You're no one important. Oh, really? You do know I could have you unemployed in 1 hour? Oh yeah, whatever. I personally know the owner. I doubt he would fire me. I'll call him right now. I doubt he would want you to treat people like shit. But yeah, that's a good idea. Actually, I'll call him. I pull out my cell phone and call my partner. Hey, I know you just started your vacation, dude, but I think we have an employee problem. P&B was very rude when I walked in this morning. I attempted to tell her who I was, but she wouldn't let me get that far. Yeah, I can hand you over. One sec. I hand her the phone. I couldn't hear the conversation. However, I did ask him later. Here's what he said. My partner basically told her that he's tired of her holier-than-thou attitude, and if she doesn't change her attitudes towards people, she is not cut out to work in the store anymore. He also told her that she basically was a bitch to the other owner, and he told her to pack her stuff up and she would no longer be needed. So after she handed the phone back to me, here's the conversation. You want me to work up some termination paperwork? Yeah, let me know how it turns out. I'll see you in a week. P&B, you got your paycheck Friday, correct? She nods yes. Awesome! I owe you about $5 for the 30 minutes you wasted today. I spent 10 minutes to type up the reason for termination, all while she sits in a chair bawling like a 2-year-old. Thanks, and don't let the door smack you on the ass on your way out. I walk over to the register, pull out the 5, and point her toward the door. We never saw her again. I was just made aware of this sub a couple hours ago. I don't remember the guy's name, but I do remember many of our local staff knew him from the neighborhood. He came in and mentioned John said to stop by for an interview. I had answered the door and took him to the office manager. We were a family-owned business and did everything face-to-face, not online. He comes in and meets my office manager. They have a conversation about past work experience, how he operates, etc. I am in the room just up the steps making a pot of coffee. I am about 15 to 20 feet from them and can hear everything. He's a little over the top, but I figured he was trying to impress us. Our office had 3 floors. The top floor was an employee's break room, kitchen, shower, and 3 desks, workstations. The manager is happy with what he hears from the guy as far as work goes, tells him he's hired, and tells him he'll show him the office and introduce him to everyone. Coffee is ready. I called down to the manager because I knew he'd want a cup and offered new guy one too. I get a cup, manager gets a cup, and new guy gets a cup. New guy pitches a fit because he doesn't like strong coffee, pours his out in the sink, gets the pot and pours that into the sink. Manager looks at me as if to ask which one of us should kill this guy. We are a 24/7 operation and we all love our coffee. It's our lifeblood and we all make it the exact same way. In fact, it was the office manager that taught me to make coffee when I started drinking it. New guy now goes on a rant about how weaker coffee has more caffeine and how things are going to change, and he'll teach me the right way to do things. Note lighter roast of coffee are higher in caffeine. The longer you roast the coffee beans, the more caffeine burns off. How strong you brew your coffee is a matter of taste. I let him brew a pot. It looked like lemonade. It had a yellow tint to it and did not resemble any coffee I had ever seen. New guy held it up to show us and we could clearly see them through the pot. FYI, I don't care if that's what he liked. It was his condescending attitude that raised flags. He's no longer over the top. He's now obnoxious. Manager tells him he should probably shut up if he really wants the job. He brushes off manager and then tells him we'll learn a lot working with him. I said, "Wanna bet?" He took offense to my tone and laid into me. Ended with a, "Who the fuck are you?" My manager says, "He's the owner, so he's your boss." I looked at the manager and told him he's half right. No way I want that guy working for me, and fired him. He was literally hired and fired in less than 15 minutes. We talked about this guy for years. This happened about a year ago, right after I had opened 2 niche hobby shops. It's an incredibly male-dominated hobby. My typical clients are retired white dude, driving nice Audis and BMWs. I am a small 30-year-old chick, covered literally head to toe in tattoos. A customer walks in who's new to me. Apparently, he had been in before while I was out of the shop and one of my male managers helped him. He walks into my shop, and when I smile and greet him with a "Hi, how are you?" he just kind of grunts at me. Okay, whatever. Sometimes people just want to be left alone to browse. I stay on my computer finishing up some ordering and let him wander a bit. He's taking his time, but is clearly getting a bit agitated. So I ask if he's looking for anything in particular. He just looks at me, a pregnant pause where I begin to wonder if I should speak up when he finally breaks the silence, not with a polite response but with a gruff. "Where is your manager?" I have been in retail for 15 years. I'm used to the people who just don't remember their manners. But this question doesn't make me think, "Oh, he's looking for my boss." It makes me think, "Oh, he's looking for one of my employees." "I'm the only one here today. What can I help you with?" "No, I want to speak to the man that is in charge. I'll wait," he says in a very condescending way. "Sir, I'm in charge. What can I help you with?" "No, where is the man that helped me last weekend? He and I were discussing a project and I want to speak with him directly so I can tell him what I want ordered." This is where I start to get a little snippy. I was frustrated that he was speaking to me in such a tone and that he couldn't seem to understand that I am in charge. "Well, sir, I am in charge here. I do the ordering. So what did you need me to order?" "He lets you do the ordering?" "Sir, I can see we aren't going to get anywhere. If you'd like to come back later, you are more than welcome to, but considering you won't speak to me and would rather speak to a male employee, maybe it would be best for you to come back at another time." Obviously, this enrages the entitled jerk, and he gets so red that I was sure he would pop at any second. He starts sputtering and he takes a couple of steps towards me. I have a particular character flaw where I forgot that I am all of 5 feet tall. So I stand my ground. He demands my boss's phone number. Now I realize maybe I wasn't clear enough. I get cut off. Now being ignored and interrupted are 2 of my biggest pet peeves, and this man has accomplished both in a relatively short amount of time. So I hand him a business card and walk off. He immediately calls the number and my cell phone starts ringing. So I answer. "Thank you for calling. You've reached store name's owner." All while staring him straight in the face. I'm petty as hell, and even this made me wonder if I had gone too far. He stormed out and I never saw him again. Still cracks me up when I remember his red, veiny face staring at me with wide eyes. So yesterday I was at my favorite local supermarket. I've been shopping there pretty much once a week for the past 6 years. I know the place like the back of my hand. I know most of the employees by name. As I'm standing in the taco aisle, Trying to decide exactly how hard to punish my bathroom later, I am approached by a woman who must have been 75 if she was a day. SL will be sweet lady and M will be me. Son, can you help me locate the aluminum foil? Sure, it's right up this way. Walks her to aisle 7B. It's pretty high up. Let me grab it for you. Do you want the Reynolds or the store brand? The name brand, please. Hands her a 200-foot roll. Do you need help finding anything else? I'm walking directly of this store. Hands me her shopping list. I spent about 10 minutes filling her cart with heavy, hard-to-reach items. And then I got back to my shopping with a smile and a "have a great day." As I'm standing in the checkout, I see the SL arguing with the floor manager over by the express line. I pay for my groceries and walk over to be noisy and maybe help out. SL is telling Greg that this big guy with the red beard helped her. I didn't get his name. And she wants to see him get the bonus, promotion, or employee of the month something. Greg is insistent that no one with that description works there. I get to the counter, and before I can explain that I don't even work there, Greg pipes up. Oh, you mean Mark? Yeah, he's one of our best employees. Mark, this lady has been over here singing your praises for the past 5 minutes. I didn't even know you were working today. Well, Sharon called me and said we were slammed, so I came in on my day off. Well, that's some real initiative. How'd you like to be assistant to the regional manager? Oh my God, thank you. Are you sure? Well, you've definitely earned it. See, this is why I shop here instead of Walmart, even though you guys charge more. You care about your employees, and your employees care about your customers. So that is how I became assistant to the regional manager at the store I am not even employed by. Shout out the people who were accused of being a student when they had already graduated. I recently started out as a teacher. I was 27 when I had my first teaching job, and of course, as the newbie, not everyone working at that school knew me at the time. I look a bit younger than my age and I usually wear a pair of jeans and a nice blouse shirt. I was working there for a bit over a month when I was walking through the hallways of the school during the class hours, picking up some paperwork and heading to the teacher's room as I had a free period. An older man stopped me, looking kinda angry. Excuse me, young lady. Where do you think you're going? Why aren't you in class? I'm not actually a student, but I'm like hell you are. I've seen you walking around with the older kids. Go to your class immediately. Sir, I'm really not a student, but I'm actually a teacher. I'm new here, so you probably haven't seen me, but... Stop your lying. Go report to the office immediately. I will make sure your parents hear of this. And don't think I won't be looking for you in detention tomorrow. I got to the office as I needed to go there anyway, and my colleagues asked, "What happened to you?" I got sent here because I was outside during class hours. Also, could you call my parents because a man expects me in detention tomorrow? My colleagues basically died of laughter right there, so they actually sent me to detention the next day. I took some grading work with me. The man who sent me to detention was looking smug as shit when he saw me sitting in there. After a few minutes, one of my colleagues from the office came in and, in the most theatrical voice you can imagine, introduced me as their new colleague. You should have seen the guy's face. Priceless! For some reason, he never sat my table during lunch.